There we go. So you guys can hear me okay, right? Again, let me turn that up just a little bit more. ECE 111, Language and Literacy. I've received so many wonderful emails from you guys on the literacy kit and the progress that you've made and looking for a little guidance on that. So I love that most of you are looking ahead on that. So noisy right now. Little autumn. So our first announcement I want to make, of course, we are in week 3. And if I pull up my calendar real quick, that means week 4 will begin next Monday, September 28th. And our class will officially be over Sunday, October 4th. And so we are, as usual, blazing right along. Keep an eye on our due dates. I've been trying to really stay up with the assignments so that you know how well you're doing. First of all, how are you guys doing on your literacy kit? You can't wait till the end of your little set because it's just your last class. That's right. Okay, Benita has hers done, which is amazing. Sarah, you haven't gotten too far yet, but have you picked your book out? Do you know what book you're going to do it around? Oh, from a Dr. Seuss. That'd be great. And lots of resources on the internet, too, for Dr. Seuss. Still working on it, Jessica. Have you picked out your book yet? And you're having a hard time choosing a book. That's another one, too. There's so many great books out there, really. It's hard to make that choice. I understand. For any of you guys, once you pick out your book, and this is really just something I just thought of, some of you may have already done it, but once you pick out your book, I would go into Pinterest and type in just the name of your book and see what comes up. You could also type in the name of your book plus the author to narrow it down a little bit. But I think on most any fairly popular book that's out there that you're going to have resources pop up on Pinterest like crazy. So that might be a great place to start. I would choose your book search and then form it around that. Would be a good place to do. So some of you have, I choose to, I hope you guys are enjoying these assignments because I am really enjoying grading them. And, I wanted to tell you too, on the Pinterest assignment, be sure to have your pen set by Sunday at midnight, like our other assignment. And this chick is still cute. So have your Pinterest assignments done by Sunday at midnight. And you don't need to turn anything in my course connection on the Pinterest assignment. What I will do, that is what it sounds like she's saying, Sarah. So what I will do is on Monday morning, I will go in and check your Pinterest board that you've created for that week, and then I'll get your points transferred over to Grade Report so that you will have your points for your Pinterest. So don't worry about submitting anything on my course connection. I'll just simply grade it from Pinterest and then put it into our grade book. What else? This week we're in chapter 13 and 14 in our developmentally appropriate practices book. So I know my new people, Jasmine and Sarah, are you guys getting the hang of using the e-text? Are you okay with using an electronic book as opposed to a regular hands-on book? Sometimes it takes a little time to get used to it. Some people like them. Some people would rather have a book. You're doing okay? Well, great. Great. It makes it so much easier to carry them around with you. You go places. You already have your textbook. she is proving that she has filled that kit. And then I need another picture. You look over here to the right, or it would be on my right. Here's everything that went into another literacy kit. This time they used Chicken Chicka 1, 2, 3. And you can see the container. In this case, we use a large Ziploc baggie that you can write on. You're welcome to use any creative container that you can find, guys. Here's a copy of the book, which of course you can check out from the library or borrow one from a friend, or maybe your kids already have books at home. Here's a counting activity, and here's the instructions. So I just need to be able to see you, number one, holding the literacy kit, and then in number two picture, you should be able to see all the supplies. So you might sort of lay them out on the table so that they're easy to see. So you should have your two pictures. I'm going to step away just for a moment and give the chicks back to my daughter so that she can take them back out with her buddies, because Autumn is getting a little distressed. You don't want to upset chickens. Okay, there we go. Now we don't have chirping in the background. It was really loud. I thought for sure she would settle down and go back to sleep. She's spoiled already. Who knew you could spoil a chicken, right? I have many. Okay, so your two pictures, a list of all the supplies that are in your literacy kit, so that'll need to be typed up and submitted as a file. Detailed directions on how to use the kit, detailed directions for the fun activity that you're going to include, and a copy of the educational activity if it's on paper, right? So what you could do is, if you would put this all in a Word document or a Google Docs document, that would probably be the easiest way. And just put them in order. Your two pictures could be on one page with maybe the name of your literacy kit. That could then be followed on the next page by your list of supplies, then your detailed directions, and so on. And it could be submitted as one file, I think would be the easiest way to do that. Another option might be submitting it as a PowerPoint. You could do that as well, because you can insert your pictures and still have your list of directions and activities in there too. So it's up to you if you want to submit it as a document or a PowerPoint. Of course, those of you that don't have Word, you're welcome to use Google Docs or Google Slides. And Google Slides is a version of PowerPoint that you can use as well for free. It's very easy to use. So there's your submission, which you'll be doing not this week, but next week. So let's go on really quick. I've got just a few things to cover in Chapter 13 and 14, Cognitive Language Literacy Environment for Infants and Toddlers. To start off, we have already kind of talked about this a little bit, but I'd like to bring it up because as early childhood educators, you need to be pretty familiar with milestones and where a child should be. So here we have concerning language. At 1 to 6 months, babies will coo and gurgle, make simple sounds, ah. By about 6 to 12 months, this is always going to vary child to child. You might begin to babble and putting together two sounds like baba, dada, mama. And here's the thing, a lot of people don't know that, dada lots of times winds up being the first one because it's easier to say. So don't be alarmed when that happens. Sometimes mama comes out first. So 6 to 12 months you get that, around 12 to 18 months. You're 15 and a half months, say, don't. Really, yes. That's a good one. They like to repeat, and no. They like to say no, too. So 12 to 18, baby's first words appear. They like to copy sounds and words, so the words that they're hearing repetitively, such as, here, and this is an example of Teddy, but also might be Baba, Blanky, Mama, Daddy, of course. So they'll start saying a few words. 18 to 24 months, we have toddlers begin to join 2 words, such as more tea, which is kind of a strange thing for 18 to 24 months. Maybe more milk, more water. There's lots of things that could say. I don't think this must be from England because I don't know if we say more tea much in the United States. And by 2 to 3 years, child will use 3 to 5 word sentences such as Daddy fix it or Mama more food. Of course, I always say this is going to vary child to child. Some children develop sentences at a very young age. I believe my sister was about 18 months when she was speaking sentences, and everybody thought she was much older than she was because of that. But she was very small, so it was confusing. Okay, next, I like to give you guys some really practical ideas because, of course, in our textbook we talk about language, we talk about theories, we talk about behaviorists and natives. You know, all these different terminologies that are used in researching early childhood. And it's fantastic to have that background. But I also want you to have solid strategies that you can use either with your children or in a daycare situation. So here we have 12 ways to support language development for infants and toddlers. And since 13 and 14 deal with infants and toddlers, I decided to sort of mix them together. So number 1, when I point to something, tell me what it is. This is a game that you could play. With an infant, of course, we're not going to say it back to you, but you can point to things and repeat what term it is, what it is. Is it a ball? Is it a teddy bear? It's a doll. Look, here's a bird. So you can always just narrate what you're doing. Using a gesture along with a word can help you out too. So the example they give here is if I were to say to the child, I'm hungry, you know, or time to eat, by tapping your lips indicating something's going to maybe go in the mouth, then maybe they will repeat that sign language as well. So you point to something, my daughter should fit in the box. She realizes what to do. Oh, that's great. Yes. And that's a great way to work on building up the terms that they know. They're really great working at that vocabulary. Talk to me about what you're doing. Tell me what will happen next so I know what to expect. Even something as small as putting an infant in a car seat, even though they're not speaking yet, just the process of hearing words is going to help them out. So if you wanted to narrate that, I'm thinking you up, I'm going to put you in the car seat, let's buckle your belt. You know, just going through that process, and they will enjoy it too because they love to hear words. Talk to me about what I'm doing. Using words to describe my actions and feelings help me to learn those words too. So narrating what they're doing as well as what you're doing. Number 5, taking turns chatting back and forth with me. Listen to what I'm saying, imitating coos and babbles. And what this makes me think of are the observation videos that we sometimes use. You remember the one with the lady working with the infant? And she was so good with just talking to the baby and connecting with that baby. So just by saying, repeating the words that they're trying to say or the sounds that they're trying to make. Exactly. Number 6, model bigger and better sentences. So if a child says two cats, you can say, you have two cats on your shirt. So you're sort of expanding on what they have just told you as well. So that's 1 through 6. Let's hop on over 7 through 12. I'm sorry. Sing with me. Children love to sing. So Sarah typed in, my 5-year-old is in kindergarten. She brought home 2 books, math homework, and key ring words. Oh my goodness. And she knows 15 of the 29 words. That's amazing. That's great, Sarah. And isn't it wild how much homework they can bring home in kindergarten and 1st grade and 2nd grade? I actually think we had more homework up till 5th grade than my children have ever had in junior high. And now I have one in high school and hardly ever have any homework. So they really focus a lot in those early years on language, and they want to involve the parents to enrich that. That's great. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you don't realize how much your children know. I love that moment when you figure that out. That's wonderful. So number 7, you guys think back for me. Think about when you were little tiny toddlers or babies. And most of us, our earliest memories come from about 4 or 5. Now, some people can remember before that, say into the 2s and 3s. If it was maybe a really big event, maybe you remember something about a wedding, or maybe you remember something about something dramatic that happened. So a lot of us, it's around 4 or 5 that we can remember things. So do you guys remember of any songs that were sung to you by parents or family members? Of course, most of you probably remember ABC songs because we like to start that one really, really early. Baby Beluga. Was that a song, Faith? I don't know if I've heard that one. Aww. Oh, that's okay, Maria. I'll get you down to. They sing it on Full House. Oh, I think I do know what you're talking about. Yeah. That's great. Does anybody else remember any childhood songs that were maybe singing repetitively that really stuck in your brain? Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, right? All the nursery rhymes. Mother Goose songs. Yes, I have a lot of those as well, definitely. What about, I don't know if any of you are the age to remember any Barney songs. Those were pretty popular with kiddos for a while. I love you, you love me, exactly. That's funny. What came after Barney? Let's think of, your child loves Barney. Oh, yes. Sometimes we do want to forget a few of them. That's right. What were some other singing ones? Eureka's Castle. Yes, I do remember that. That's great. So even though, we didn't think of it as learning, it really was. Of course, music is great for your brain, but you're also creating strings of words, creating sentences, creating whole songs, and memorizing them. Gula Gula Island was the best. That's great. And sometimes it just takes somebody saying a song title to bring it back up in your brain and you've completely forgotten about it. Curious George, yeah. That's great. So it's important, and some people have beautiful voices and will sing songs off the radio even to their children. I'm trying to think. Honey Bunch of Sugar Plum. That was one that I sang to mine quite a bit. Mine do too. Mine are polar opposites. I have one that used to be country music, and then I have one that's more techno pop. Yeah. So anyway, songs are fantastic to help develop language, and I have friends that have special CDs that they play in the car when you're driving down the road that maybe have educational songs, so that the car ride is more than just a car ride, and hopefully their children will have memories of those songs in the car as well. My mom would teach me some historic songs like in 1814 at the little trip. So like historic songs and old country songs for some reason too. So the next one, number 8, take me to the library. Of course, is a wonderful time to get them around different convoys. That cracks me up. Yes, Smokey the Bandit. I remember those well. Let them have board books. And here's the thing, you know, I think it's very important that if you're letting them out the board books, then it does need to be books that are their own. Please don't chew on the board books that have been checked out from the library. Right, Katrina? Don't let the babies chew on the checked out books. At home, books sassy and the fieldings are wonderful, with different textures, with different colors, with pop out. On number 9, make books about me, which is so fun to do and easy to do now that we can take pictures and print them out, or take pictures, upload them, and have the book made, and they can read about themselves for the rest of their life in their own special book. Number 10, show me the words on things by putting out the words on books, on computers, maybe on as they get older on road signs as you're driving down the road, because they see so many things outside the car too. Number 11, be careful while I learn. I like to ask you what shape the cookie cutter is. You say the letter L, or ask, I wonder what letter you made. So it's fun to try to get them inquisitive of things. And number 10, give me time to learn and explore. Try not to rush them through the names of the colors, the letters, the things that you were trying to teach them. But Katrina, when I was in kindergarten, they actually published books that had each child's name on their own individual book. I love that. What a great keepsake. Was it in their own handwriting as well, Katrina? Sometimes they'll type up the words of the child, the books that they put together, and sometimes they'll have a print where they use their actual handwriting, and that's what I love to see how they were writing at that same age. Yeah, exactly. It is. It's a very thoughtful teacher that will go to the process of doing that. That's what I want you guys to be too. Be that thoughtful teacher that carries on educational opportunities that can be amazing keepsakes too. Your mom still has yours. Oh, that's great, Benita. That's wonderful. Okay, I have, or I thought I had, a video right here. That doesn't seem to be coming up. Oh no. It worked whenever I was in PowerPoint, and I embedded it, but nothing seems to be happening here. So here's the black screen. Let me tell you real quick about the video that should be there. I found one on YouTube that was infant and toddler learning. I think it was called 1.1. And it was a cartoon that was put together to simulate infant brain, infant toddler brain. So it's basically something for a child to watch, maybe on TV or on the computer, maybe on the tablet as well. I know lots of young kids that have tablets. So I wanted to sort of get your thoughts on it. I'm sorry it's not there. So let me describe it. It was very simple animation. It had pictures. They would show a picture of a bird, and the narrator would say bird, bird, bird. It would say it 3 times. And then it would show the next picture, a picture of a ball, 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 ball. So it was repetitive. It would show about 5 different pictures, say the names 3 times. And then it would do sort of a short cartoon skit between 2 butterflies or between 2 kids. And then it would go back to the repetition of showing a picture and saying the word 3 times. So you kind of get the idea of what was there. Maybe I'll find the link and post it to our course page so you can see it. So also, let me tell you how long it was. It was 43 minutes long. So we had a video that's designed for infant or toddler, about 43 minutes long, very simple, repetitive words. So let's go on to the next slide. I want you to visualize all that. So think about what would be the pros of that video. If you had just seen it, what do you think some pros would be of a video that's made specifically for infants and toddlers? What could you gain from that? What could the child gain from that? Or how might it be used? I'll try to type them up on the screen. Yeah, well, actually, yes, Sarah. So, and how could I term that? I don't want to say using a video as a babysitter, although I have seen that done before. But maybe an enriching video while busy, because yes, we do have some things that we have to get done, right? Trying to get the laundry rebooted or whatever. Learning new words, right? And here's the thing, the picture would be on the screen, and I believe the word was in typed as well and said. So they could be learning new words. And maybe repeating words 3 times that you wouldn't normally do that with. Maybe you would just say it 1 time. Learning how to say the words, right? Learning how to say the words. And I know I'm trying to build this visual for you, but let me say it was all pretty much primary colors that were very bright. So it was very eye-catching, which is important for an infant to focus on. Learning what the item is to the word exactly, right? Matching the word to the object. Yeah. So sometimes we have to sit down and just sort of think about, what were some of the things that were happening there. Now I want you to give me an idea of what might be some of the cons. What would be kind of the not so fantastic things about that? Not learning from the parents. Of course, you wouldn't want to overuse it, right? Because you wanted the video to not be in place of the parent. Too much technology. There is always that boundary that can be crossed. That's right. No physical interaction. That's right, Benita. During that. And to me, just the fact that it was 43 minutes long, that's very long for an infant and toddler to be setting and watching a video. So I think if you would use it in smaller chunks, maybe use 10 minutes of it or 15 minutes of it, just for a little bit. And the remarks that people made about the video down below were actually very positive and said, their child loved it or their infant loved it. Would be good for road trips and doctor's visits. Yeah, that's true. Actually, I didn't think about that there. That's true, especially if you had a mini dance video. be a time that you probably wouldn't be interacting too much or doctor visits. Another time is sometimes if you have kids, you try to go to a restaurant. That's always fun. So it might be something to do while you're waiting for the food and you're sitting there listening. So there's lots of great ones out there, and I will look this video up and paste it on the wall so that you guys can actually see that if you're interested in it as well. Okay, next, I have a couple more slides we'll go through really quick because we're actually getting near the end of our time. I wanted to bring up the idea of using toys to teach speech and language. And again, sometimes you just don't think about these things. So the first example is using a doll to teach speech and language. And of course, you can have boy dolls, you can have girl dolls, and you know how I love multicultural dolls too. So you can have a nice little mixture of dolls. What are some of the things you can teach with a doll? Well, you can go through body parts. You can go through what type of clothes they have on, talk about each one. Basic concepts such as using the baby with other baby toys, beds and blankets, teaching baby is under the bed, baby is under the blanket, teaching colors, size concepts, which baby is bigger. So again, if you're talking, you're teaching along with it. You can also teach verbs and feelings with your baby doll. Use the baby with other toys again, beds, bottles, clothes. Talk about feelings. Is the baby hungry? Are they thirsty? Are they sleepy? So you're giving labels to these terms. Also, you can start with what questions, which we love. Where is the baby's nose, fingers, belly button? And they can point to each one. What does the baby want to eat? Why is the baby crying? So another thing you can teach there with why is the baby crying is empathy. And many children will catch on to that very quickly once the baby not crying. Also, social pragmatic skills such as taking turns and asking questions and playing appropriately with other children. So baby dolls. The next one, using toys to teach, was cars, trucks, and trains because I wanted to bring up something different than the baby dolls on the other side of the spectrum. And again, it can go either boys and girls. We can teach brain concepts, all those great colors that the cars come in, the numbers that might be on them, if they're big, small, fast, or slow. You can go into the parts of the car. Here's the wheels, here's the hood. Every time you label something, you're helping to teach that child a little more of that concept. Verbs or adjectives such as cars are great for working in all kinds of action and describing words. Stop, go, fast, slow, stop, hard. You can really get into that. Social and pragmatic skills again. Take turns racing, asking for a turn, using the word please. And lastly, just like on the baby doll, asking the what question. What, when, where, why, how, where is the car, who is driving the car, what color is the car, where are the wheels? So giving that great narration. Now here's an example of the Green 4 toys, and I love these right here. Let me get my pointer out. Look at this. I love these blocks. Can you guys see the sun on the blocks now? And see the blocks have the letters, but they also have the sign language. overhead as well. So there's lots of different ways you can teach language with Mr. Potato Head. Just think about it. And then the last one is this great little playhouse. And anytime they can have that interaction. Now I picture this more, of course, with toddlers, but I like this playhouse in particular. We've got a great door in the front. We've got a window, and over here we've got a little flat surface so that they can play, I don't know, drive through a window, they can play yard sale, I don't know, store. There's lots of different things that they can do with that area. And you can, again, emphasize selling different things, different items, again, giving them new words to work with. So don't be afraid to use those toys. And sometimes, you know, people that are brand new to daycare don't do such a great job sometimes of doing this narration and talking about items. So I want you guys just to remember that and try to focus on that when you get into a situation with your future classroom or whatever, that you are narrating as much as possible. Yes, little type stories are awesome. Okay, and we come to our last slide. So, as an ending, I always like to give you a little bit of time. Does anybody have questions, comments, concerns? I have been going through the grade book, and you guys are doing a fantastic job. I'm seeing good grades, good assignments turned in. You have one, yes, Faith? No questions for Lauren? Okay. Well, those of you that don't have any questions, you're welcome to mosey on down the road. It's always good getting to talk to you guys. I'll see you next Tuesday. And as always, email me, call me, whatever, if you have any questions, okay? Great. And what was your question, Faith? Good night, Katrina. Oh my gosh, that's such a good idea, Faith. Yes. Good night, Maria. Oh, that is. I like that, Faith. I hadn't thought of that, but that would be something that could easily be put in the kit. Yeah, exactly. Now, you probably want to, I mean, in reality, I'm just thinking through this. If you were in an actual classroom and you were going to put that kit in there, you'd probably pick out enough and mix. If you could find one that you only have 1 or 2, because you don't want to, you don't want them to have to get items to put it together, like eggs or stuff. So there are those out there. I'm not saying you have to buy them for this, but if you bought just a package of nothing mix to put in it for your assignment, yeah, that would be great. What a good idea. And since you're using, you said you were using 2 books, right? If you give them some lessons, right? Okay, so I want you to just choose one of the books for your activities. You don't have to do 2 activities. Just or you don't have to do 2 activities for each book, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So you just take your 1 book and do your educational activity and do your fun activity and focus all your things around the 1 book. And then your second one can just be a supplement to something. Yeah. That's fantastic. Good idea. Wonderful. You have your idea.